All right, so this video is for Kenneth. He asked, how do we actually set the snares? So there's three things you're going to need that every trapper, every snare man should have on him at all times. Here we are. You got a pair of side cutters. Super easy to use. You can pick them up for $5-6 a snare. I make my own. Check your regulations in your area, know your regulations in your state. I'm going to assume everybody has a trapper's license. This is just 14 gauge trapper's wire. You can buy it at Shields, Fleet Farm, your local automotive store will even have it. Pretty easy to come across. It doesn't take too much. I think it's like Minnesota Trapline Products sells that stuff, 14 gauge wire. I think it was like $14 for the roll. If you guys have a chance, buy your stuff from trap houses and supply stores directly. Go online, order it from them versus going to these big box stores. Support those small businesses. It's a tight-knit community. We got to keep the money with the people that are creating these products for us. So I'll be right back. Let me flip this around. All right, so here's the location that I'm gonna you can see I'm coming out into a field behind me. Thick, heavy scrub brush around. These two sticks just create this natural channel where anything coming out of this field or from down over at this swamp at the pond behind my house, they're just going to funnel right through, right between here. And this is a perfect little choke down spot for them. Okay. And this is where we're going to set our snare at. So the rule of thumb is about knee height. So if you put your leg up there, you know, put your knee up there, and that's about the height of your support wire. So right about here, right about there is about where my support wire is going to go. All right. I actually changed it to the other side because my anchor point is this tree right here. So you can tell I actually had one on here last year. So I went to this side instead of being on this tree because I want to anchor off to this side. Also, it's the inside corner. As they come in here, they're going to turn and go up this way. I like to set the inside corner of things. So as you can see, just a little bit of 14 gauge wire, twist it around there, get it nice and tight. Now, if it's all loose and floppy like this, what you can do is you take your little cutters here, you're just going to grab and you're going to spin that bad boy tight. Yeah, I lost the frame. Just spin it tight so it really bites into the side of that. Now, that wire ain't moving. Okay, don't worry if you have some extra wire. It's not going to hurt anything. These cows are used to ducking under these fences and everything else around here. You can see under. That is a long running pasture fence on the top of that hill. So we're kind of on a funnel point in this corner. All right, so now we're gonna get into the snare part. So we're gonna unwrap our snare. Get your tag on it. It's required on all snares here in Minnesota. Get this thing unwound. Whoop. All right, so when we open up a snare, it's just gonna kind of sit in a circle like this, right? You got breakaway device right here for deer, right? A ferrule that stops it. This is our lock. It's just a little Dakota Low Pro snare lock. Goes one way, doesn't come the other way. There's a stop I put on it. 31.4 inches. That's the diameter, that's the length of wire it takes to make a 10-inch loop. So 31.4 inches gives you a 10-inch loop. Mathematically, I can't be wrong with that. So you notice it's pretty round. I'd already loaded this thing up, and that's just using the memory of the wire itself to kind of make it want to coil back up onto the spool that it came off of. But by doing that, it makes it so these things fire real quick. All right, so got some snow on it. On the end of this, we have a whammy or a collar or a collet. There's a bunch of different names for them. This one happens to be the metal twisty ones. I'm just going to slide that, you can see it, slide that right over the end of that wire, and then you kind of just screw it on. Right? Not always the easiest to do one-handed. There you go. Get that snare stuck from there. All right, so there we are. Got it secured by our little collet or lock, or support collar, whatever you want to call it. It's not a lock. And then there's my little stop for my 10-inch loop. And what I like to do is I like to move that lock just up off of that lock, or off that stopper. So what I like to do is just move that lock just a touch up off of that stopper right there, and that makes sure that it fires real quick. All right, so now there's our loop. We always set that little stop in our lock. We want it about a 10 o'clock or a 2 o'clock or 11 o'clock and a 1 o'clock, depends on how you look at it. But the concept is that it's not dead straight up and down. It makes it harder for that thing to get knocked over. Okay, and then that's pretty much our finished set right there. Super quick, super easy. Just got it wired off back to this tree here. And when we set these, we want to make sure that we're perpendicular to the opening that they're planning on coming through. So we're a little bit out of perpendicular here. I don't want it, what I'm saying is I don't want it kicked on an angle like this. I want it dead square to the opening that they're coming through. And there we go. Just like that. They'll come through and they'll just pop their little head right in there. Some kind of voodoo black magic that happens when coyotes see a circle made out of wire. Sometimes what you can do, so you don't get them ducking their heads under, this is pretty low, we got a lot of snow, but I do what's called a little chin lifter stick right there. It's going to make sure he doesn't nose down into it. And I like to try to make sure that we keep stuff out of the way. I want that thing, when they look through there, they just see the opening that they're going out of. Right now we got a little bit of camouflage. Just take a little bit of this grass right here. Right, I'm just going to bend it over, kind of flip it over my support wire there, just to kind of help hide that little bit of the lock right there. Right, it can be over on this side of it, it doesn't hurt nothing as long as it's not in the way of the loop. You know, that didn't work so great, but that's real life, trying to do shit one-handed, you know. Just do like a little bit of that. I'll get creative with it, leave some stuff in there. There you go. Now that whole system is kind of like just a little bit of grass right there, just kind of wove from the backside. It's not going to interfere, that thing still moves just fine, but just enough to break up that outline. And so there's the end result, looking at it from the inside, looking out into the field. Right, got another one right over there, and they just coming in on here. There's one of my house cats. My house is right up there. Things admittedly are going to be slow for a little bit. We're not into that mating season time yet, but once we get there, I'll be ready for them. We got some good properties coming up this year. Going to be trapping a elk ranch here in Minnesota. Currently trapping a 500-acre marsh bottom, about 30 minutes from here. We're trapping a little bit down in Henderson, Minnesota, right by the Minnesota River there. Got another property down that way we picked up this year. So should be some good catches this year. I leave for New York for 10 days here coming up. So when I get back, we're going to hit it hard right through February and into March. That's the prime time for mating season here in Minnesota. So if you're looking to catch travelers on snares, the month of February, my friends, that is where it's at. But look at this freaking cat. And this is why we do it, right? I got pets that run around here. We got goats, chickens, pigs, ducks, horses. You know, I got lots of livestock around here. So we got to keep these predator numbers in check. So just here to help you guys try to do the same thing. One quick last look what it's going into. Got a big swamp bottom over here. We're in some scrubby apples. And right through there is where that snare is. So somewhere right around in there. But you won't even see it from this distance, and neither will that coyote until he's running right through it. And it looks like, actually, anyway, got my trapping partner with me. She's a pip, isn't she? That's why we do it. Used to have a lot more barn cats, and then coyotes took out my daughter's favorite one, and well, can't be having that. So appreciate you guys joining, sticking around, subscribing. Should be a good time. We'll share some catches, show you guys where I set, how I set, why I set, and maybe you guys can teach me a couple things too. Nobody ever knows everything when it comes to trapping. Coyote will always find a way to make you look stupid and humble you. All right, guys. Hope you have a great day.